Jeff Bezos isn't just rich. He's the richest man in the entire world, with a $117.3 billion net worth. The Amazon CEO spending $88,000 is equivalent to the average American spending $1. So what kind of luxurious goods does this successful businessman blow his money on? Some of Bezos' investments include a giant clock worth tens of millions of dollars, a company dedicated to commercial space travel, multiple estates, and a robot dog. And of course, Bezos zips around in his own private jet, but what this CEO prioritizes over fancy cars and boats, like family travel and exotic breakfasts, might just surprise you. Here are all the incredible ways that Jeff Bezos spends his billions. When Jeff Bezos decided to quit his job on Wall Street and sell books online, his parents were pretty surprised and probably kind of concerned, but that didn't stop them from shelling out $250,000 to help get Amazon started. And the rest is history. Amazon itself is now worth about $30 billion, and Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world, despite the fact that he makes an annual salary of only $81,840 from the company. All of his other companies, investments, and the profit he makes from Amazon combine together to make the billionaire pretty much untouchable. It's estimated that Bezos makes $2,489 per second, more than twice what the average American worker makes in 1 week. That's more money than most people would even know what to do with. But Jeff Bezos finds ways to spend it. One of the things Bezos spent most of his money on isn't so fun: a high-profile divorce. In 2019, he divorced Mackenzie Bezos and gave her 25% of the Amazon stock owned by the couple. But even that couldn't strip away Bezos' title as the richest man in the world, and luckily he has plenty of other companies that he didn't have to share with his ex. Bezos' list of companies includes Zappos, the major shoe brand that he bought for $1.2 billion in 2009. Then he moved on to the grocery business and bought Whole Foods in 2017 for the insane amount of $13.7 billion. He also owns a newspaper now, The Washington Post, which he bought for $250 million in 2013. Since buying it, he's given the newspaper a big digital push, and it's probably the reason it's still around today. Bezos has also made plenty of investments in other companies, including heavyweights like Google, Alexa, Twitch, Audible, and IMDb. He also has his own venture capital firm called Bezos Expeditions, through which he invests in small companies and startups. But one of his most unique creations is the Blue Origin Space Company, which he hopes will help to eventually make space travel affordable, though probably only for the richest people in the world. But we'll talk more about Bezos' space adventures in just a little bit. In 2017, Land Report named Bezos the country's 28th largest landowner. For a guy whose specialty isn't real estate, that's pretty impressive. He has a few very luxurious properties that we know about. In June of 2019, the Amazon CEO dropped about $80 million on 3 linked New York City apartments in the priciest real estate deal area in New York, the upscale Central Park West. The 3 apartments span across 10,000 square feet and include 5 bedrooms and a 7-room master suite. And inside the master bedroom, Bezos can see a view of the Empire State Building right from his bathtub. If that view's not enough, the top floor has a glass observatory with amazing views of the entire city, perfect for anybody who loves New York. Bezos is also a big fan of Washington, since it puts him in proximity to Amazon's Seattle headquarters. He owns a particularly luxurious estate in Medina that includes 2 homes on 5.3 acres of land. Each home has 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms and is reported to have cost about $53 million. The houses sit right on the shores of Lake Washington and have 310 feet of private shoreline and a boathouse. The property is located in an exclusive suburb where a lot of successful tech people live, including Bill Gates. Jeff Bezos also owns a townhouse in Washington, D.C., which might not sound that fancy, but trust us, it is. The simple-looking home used to be a textile museum. Bezos bought the property in 2016 for $23 million and is renovating it. It's reported that once done, it'll have 11 bedrooms, 25 bathrooms, 5 living rooms, and 2 elevators. Despite how fancy these places are, this next home might be the best one yet. And of course, it's located in beautiful Los Angeles. The Warner Estate in Beverly Hills is the most expensive property ever sold in LA. Bezos bought the 9-acre property for $165 million from billionaire David Geffen back in February of 2020. But Bezos has been busy buying up luxurious LA properties that fit his needs. Back in 2007, he bought a Spanish-style mansion for $24.45 million. million. The 7-bedroom, 7-bathroom Beverly Hills home has a greenhouse. In 2017, he even bought a 4-bedroom house right next door for $12.9 million. Bezos also owns 2 unique properties that aren't devoted to being living spaces. The first is a massive ranch in Van Horn, Texas, which serves as a base for his Blue Origin space exploration company, and where his family occasionally vacations. The second is Amazon's Seattle campus, which spreads over 4 downtown blocks and is worth, just about $4 billion, making it the most expensive property that he owns. One area where the billionaire CEO is surprisingly frugal is cars. He's not a big car guy. And in fact, his ex-wife Mackenzie used to frequently drive him to work. The 2 known cars that he does have are very modest: a Honda Accord and an old Chevrolet Blazera. But what he lacks in luxurious ground travel, he makes up for in the skies. He also owns a $65 million Gulfstream G650ER private jet, which is one of the fastest private jets in the world. Would you take inspiration from Bezos and prefer your private jet over a fancy sports car? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Of course, a billionaire interested in technology is going to own some pretty cool gadgets. Back in 2018, Bezos actually tweeted a photo of him walking a robot dog that he apparently calls Spot Mini. It was created by Boston Dynamics, and Bezos is probably one of only a few people in the world who can actually say that he owns a high-tech robot pet. He also owns a clock which is meant to run for 10,000 years and is currently being built in Texas. He invested a massive $42 million in the construction of this unique clock. So why would anybody want a clock that's massive and runs for 10,000 years? We're not entirely sure, but it's a pretty big flex. Bezos also has a much more practically sized personal timepiece with a huge price tag. The watch is made by Swiss watchmaker Ulysse Nardin and retails for $8,000 to $12,000, which makes sense since it's made of stainless steel and sapphire crystals with a fine leather strap. It's also vintage with a clockwork inside of it dating back as far as 1846. It seems like Jeff Bezos really likes opulence when it comes to telling time. When it comes to living the good life, Bezos does not hold back. He is known to enjoy trying new food, and he spares no expense. He'll even order exotic foods for breakfast, like octopus on the side of his eggs during a major meeting. He has plenty of money to spend at parties. He threw a star-studded birthday bash for girlfriend Lauren Sanchez in December. The guest list included celebrities like Katy Perry, Orlando Bloom, and Timothée Chalamet. And right afterwards, he whisked her off on a romantic vacation to St. Bart's. The Amazon CEO and his girlfriend were also seen partying on David Geffen's mega yacht off the coast of Spain. Another lavish party thrown by Bezos took place in January, and it was one of the most exclusive events you could ever have been invited to. It was the after party for the Alfalfa Club dinner, where the most esteemed guests are actually given gold medals. Ivanka Trump, Bill Gates, and Mitt Romney were just a few of the high-profile guests. Bezos is not a lone wolf. When he's not partying with friends, he's often traveling with them, or taking his family along. In 2017, he bought the entire family a trip to Rome. Even when he's not going far, he likes to make things into an adventure, and work while he's at it. He likes to travel around in a submarine with his kids looking for downed NASA rockets. You know, like most typical family men. But of course, having tons of money doesn't mean you're not cheap. Jeff Bezos is known for not spending too much money when he doesn't need to, especially when it comes to Amazon. He doesn't like to waste time in meetings, so he's a firm believer in what he calls the 2-pizza rule. It means that if 2 pizzas can't feed all of the people at a meeting, he doesn't have a meeting. And while this could just be practical, he's known not to throw any perks around at headquarters. Working at Amazon does not come with free lunches, massages, or any luxury treatment. Now let's get to that space travel stuff. In 2013, Bezos founded and led an expedition on the floor of the Atlantic Ocean to recover one of the lost rocket engines from the Apollo 12. And that was only the start of space-related exploration for the company. Blue Origin has tested a reusable rocket called the New Shepard rocket. Since they've seen some success with the smaller rockets, they're now working on an even bigger one called the New Glenn. The new rockets are intended to compete with Elon Musk's SpaceX. Bezos hopes that he can not only make reusable rockets and advance space research, but also that he can make space travel a reality in his lifetime. Space travel seems like the obvious next step for a major billionaire with lots of money to burn. With Blue Origin using his ranch in Texas as a home base, there's a lot of space for tests to be done. So will Bezos be going into space anytime soon? It's very possible, and we're sure it's something that he cannot wait to check off of his bucket list. Mr. Bezos has come under fire a few times for not being as generous with his wealth as some other high-profile billionaires. Many billionaires sign on to the Bill Gates initiative to donate at least half of their wealth in their lifetime. Bezos' ex-wife Mackenzie has actually joined this initiative, but he still has not. But we can't call all of his charitable efforts entirely cheap. He has given millions of dollars away to organizations that support the hungry and the homeless, and he recently pledged $10 billion to help fight climate change, something that he is very passionate about. Though Amazon does contribute to greenhouse gas emissions, Bezos says he uses about 40% renewable energy, and he wants to try to up that in the future. So what's next for Jeff Bezos and his billions? Well, a trip to space, but also the discovery of more renewable energy sources and better business practices. Bezos always wants to improve, so maybe we'll see the billionaire giving away half of his fortune after all. He's also getting more involved with politics, so maybe there's a political future for the billionaire. So which of these things would you blow your money on if you had a $120 billion fortune? Let us know in the comments section down below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to The Richest for more. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.